In this video, I want to introduce you to the concept of top P sampling in prompt engineering. Now, let me give you the definition and then we'll go over it in more detail. So the definition goes like this. Top P, also referred to as Nucleus sampling, is a technique used in language models to control the diversity and quality of the generated text. Top P sampling selects the next word from the smallest possible set of words whose cumulative probability mass is greater than or equal to the threshold probability of P. Now, this is very confusing, so let me explain this. The way these language models work is they try to predict what's the next most probable word. And based on their intelligence, they assign a probability score to each possible next word that might come in ChatGPT's output. And so if you give a large probability P, that's a chance of one word appearing plus a chance of another word plus a chance of another word plus a chance of another word. And those potential probable words, they're kind of the nucleus of potential next words. There can be an infinite amount of words, but the infinite number of words have a very, very tiny probability, whereas a few words have a very large probability, and the few words that have a very large probability of appearing next have a high value of P, and so that's why it's called a nucleus, the most common words. And so here's how it would work. Let's say, for example, you're writing a business document, and what you're trying to express is that something will increase. And you could use the word increase, that's the most likely. It's assigned a probability of 0.25. But then there are other words that you can use, synonyms: improved, enhanced, streamline, optimize, and many other words that cumulatively have a value of 0.22. So if you give a parameter to ChatGPT in your prompt engineering and give a small value of P, like just 0.25, then it will just choose from a narrower range of words because it can only fit a sum of 0.25. But what if you give it P equals 0.45? Then it can actually choose between word A and word B, the values of which are 0.25 and 0.20. And similarly, as you increase P, you allow the model to choose from different words. So when you use a smaller P value, you are ensuring that the answer that ChatGPT is going to give you is going to be most relevant. But at the same time, if you increase it a little bit, you're still going to stay relevant, but you also give ChatGPT the option to be creative in the few top choices of words that it can come up with. Because what you don't want is ChatGPT outputs that have a very low p-value, because it's always going to give you predictable, repetitive answers. But you also don't want random answers that are off topic. So you can calibrate the p-value starting from p equals 0.1 perhaps and reaching up to p equals 0.9 and seeing, as you calibrate it, are you getting closer to the desired style of answer that you're after. So that's the p-value. It basically helps you to manage relevance and creativity at the same time, which can feel like kind of opposite things, which is why it's so important to understand that you can combine these if you use the p-value.